Welcome back, precious saints, as we continue from where we had left, from the prophetic prophecies, the hellacious prophetic prophecies that have been unfolding from the realms of the I am that I am. Like I told you, precious saints, the Lord spoke to me in astonishing ways through the platform of the Christ, Him being the heavenly place where we are seated with Him as co-heirs with Him by the grace of the Father. Now, precious saints, I want to understand that God, Yahweh Adonai, does not speak because He has a mouth. Rather, Yahweh Adonai speaks, right? Because He has a purpose. And it is that purpose to which He intends to achieve through the unfolding of that which is decreed from ancient Zion in Araboth, Rakia. Now, listen to me, precious saints. In the unfolding of 2024, after I came out from the series of prayer and fasting, like I said in the first part one of these hellacious prophecies 2024, I told that I have from prayer and fasting for 21 days. I did not wait for January to start for me to begin fasting. I fasted before the closure of year 2023, ushering into 2024, which in the Hebraic orders of calendar is the year 5784. And I told us that this year 5784, which in the Gregorian order is 2024, is the year of open door, where the decreed word is judgment and war, rather war and judgment. I told this is war in the church, war in the governments of the world, and war in the marketplace. The Lord is setting His house in order. Jesus, Yeshua, blessed be He, said in John 14, verse 1, that let not your hearts be troubled. Believe in Adonai and believe also in me. For in my Father's house, Yahweh, there are many mansions. And so judgment is coming in the Father's house in diverse dimensions of reality as it touches both that which is in the heavens and the earth and even under the earth. So let us proceed with the hellacious prophecies that are considered to the intent that must be unveiled in the year 2024 and beyond. I speak by the leading of the blessed Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit. And we proceed. The Lord spoke and said, precious saints, pray for Donald J. Trump. Pray for Donald J. Trump, because it is this year that United States of America are going for their general election in the month of November. But I have seen in the realms of the Spirit that there will be delay. There will be delay in the coming U.S. election, basing it on the factor I'm about to say. I want those who are watching that are in America, in Kenya, and outside of Kenya, and those who are lovers of the American people, pray for Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States. Pray for Donald J. Trump. For I have seen in the realms of the Spirit, I have seen a plot undercover to assassinate this man. I have seen a plot undercover to assassinate this man, though in the visions of God, I see him winning the upcoming general U.S. election. So pray for him. Pray for him. Precious saints, I want us to continue, and I want to understand that this is very serious. Pray for Donald J. Trump. Pray for that man. His life is being pursued by the enemies of God. Now, the Lord spoke, and he said to me, the Lord spoke to me and said, the current U.S. President, Joe Biden, shall be incapacitated. Hear me as I hear the Lord. The current President of the U.S., Joe Biden, shall be incapacitated few weeks before the U.S. election in this year 2024. Joe Biden will be incapacitated. Please, I want to mark these words very carefully. President Joe Biden of the U.S., the 46th President of the U.S., will be incapacitated few weeks before the U.S. election. And the Spirit of the Lord showed it crystal clear that this man, being on a stage, being on a platform, addressing the nation, he will collapse on stage. Mark this event. It will happen according to my word. I've seen this man collapse on stage and being carried away by the team that assists around the presidency. And his party, the Democrat Party, the Democrat wing of political party in the US, I see them quickly rushing days after that, days after the collapse of the president. I see them rushing quickly to appoint, rather to elect another candidature to replace Joe Biden. Because in the realms of the spirit, I saw replacement in the Democrat wing of party in the US election that will be able to compete in the US presidency against the candidature of Donald J. Trump.
Now let's cross borders to the United States, where former President Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt Saturday at a Pennsylvania rally, days before accepting the Republican nomination for a third time. A gunfire set off panic, and a bloodied Trump, who said he was shot in the ear, was surrounded by Secret Service, hurried to his SUV and whisked away to safety. President Joe Biden has condemned the attempt, terming it as sick, even as Trump's campaign said the presumptive GOP nominee was doing fine.
See something that said, take a look what happened.
Republican candidate Donald Trump was in the middle of a campaign tour in Pennsylvania when an attempt was made on his life. A shooter, now identified by the FBI as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks, fired at Trump. The bullet hit Trump in his ear, but the Republican emerged from the melee defiantly, pumping his fist in the air. Secret Service agents fatally shot Crooks, who attacked from an elevated position outside the rally venue at a farm show. Authorities said one attendee was killed and 2 spectators were critically injured. The attack was the most serious attempt to assassinate a president or a presidential candidate since Ronald Reagan was shot in 1981. It drew new attention to concerns about political violence in a deeply polarized USA less than 4 months before the presidential election. Trump flew to New Jersey after visiting a local Pennsylvania hospital, landing shortly after midnight at Newark Liberty International Airport. President Joe Biden, who is running against Trump, was briefed on the incident and spoke to Trump several hours after the shooting.
The Trump rally was a rally that he should have been able to be conducted peacefully without any problem. But the idea that there's political violence or violence in America like this is just unheard of. It's just not appropriate. Everybody must condemn it. Everybody. I'll keep you informed, and if I'm able to speak to Donald, I'll let you know that as well. But so far, it appears he's doing well.
Many Republicans quickly blamed the violence on Biden and his allies, arguing that sustained attacks on Trump as a threat to democracy have created a toxic environment. An analysis of more than a dozen videos and photos from the scene of the Trump rally, as well as satellite imagery of the site, shows the shooter was able to get astonishingly close to the stage where the former president was speaking. The roof where the person lay was less than 150 meters from where Trump was speaking, a distance from which a decent marksman could reasonably hit a human-sized target. The FBI is treating the incident as an active and ongoing investigation.
We begin tonight with President Joe Biden addressing the nation earlier this evening, giving insight on his decision to drop out of the 2024 presidential race. This following weeks of criticism over his lackluster performance in the debate against former President Trump. Trump shaking the confidence of the Democratic Party on his ability to win the election. In his address, Biden said the nation's soul is at stake, and it's time for him to pass the torch to the next generation to protect it. He adds that the defense of democracy is more important than any title, and voiced his support for Vice President Kamala Harris's bid in the race.
I revere this office, but I love my country more. It's been the honor of my life to serve as your president. I draw strength and I find joy in working for the American people. But this sacred task of perfecting our union is not about me. It's about you, your families, your futures. It's about we, the people. And we can never forget that.
Biden adds that the great thing about America is that kings and dictators do not rule, the people do. And 22 News will continue to cover Biden's address on air and online at WWLP.com.